Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we've got a fun video ahead because we are going to be setting up my new financial tracker. If you watched my last video, my 2024 financial wrapped, you'll know at the end I talked about some financial goals, one of them being, fire truck. One of them being upgrading my financial tracker, okay? My OG tracker, this one right behind me, she did her thing for 2024, but this year I really want to upgrade it. I want to make sure I have something that's more robust, that tracks a lot more, gives me better metrics, and also carries things over easier. I'm not a formula girl. I just kind of built this to get down to tracking, but I want to be able to do it with a little bit more ease and have the metrics just ready. So we got a little cozy vibe. I got Harry Potter in the back. I got my laptop out. Grab your tea, grab your water. Let's get into it. It's gonna be a cute little vibe today. Okay, first things first, the biggest thing that I've learned about creating a budget is that you need to know how you spend first. It's really hard to create a budget out of thin air when you don't really know what your spending habits are like. That's why a financial tracker is so important, because this is where you're gonna create the data for you to understand. It's just gonna make your world a whole lot easier. You're gonna understand yourself a lot better and be able to create budgets that work with your lifestyle. Having a financial tracker and creating your own spreadsheet doesn't always have to look super pretty and clean. I wanna prove that to you guys by taking you down the memory lane of my financial trackers. I used to be on and off with tracking my finances, but in 2023 I got back on it, and I'm gonna show you what she looked like, okay? Scary. Screaming. Ugh. Can you believe this? This is literally, and this was what I used to save the money for my down payment. I don't know what I was thinking with all these colors. I'm very overwhelmed just looking at this. I'm having a little bit of a panic attack. I don't know why I thought that this was the vibe, but you know what? It got what it needed to get done. It helped me really come down and figure out what my monthly expenses are, what I was gonna be paying for, and come up with sort of a budget that would allow me to live in this place. As you can see, the budget was crazy. My fixed expenses, AKA my mortgage and bills, were gonna take up about 75%. So I just wanted to really practice making it work with the other 15, 20, 25%. Anyways, as you can see, she is rough, she's scary, but this helped me, and it was just literally for tracking my finances. Coming into 2024, your girl did a lot better, okay? Look how clean she is. We have every month, I color coded. I had a good time doing my bi-weekly paycheck routine over the year, and yeah, she just did a lot better. It's a lot cleaner. It's still very simple and was really just for the purpose of tracking my expenses. I didn't really flesh it out to be as robust as what I'm looking for this year. As you know, my OGs, they held me down. I'm looking for a lot more tracking this year though, and so I'm going to be purchasing a financial spreadsheet tracker. I went on Etsy and did a lot of browsing for, you know, just that, and the price range is honestly very varied. There are ones that are about $3, $10. They tend to be a little bit too simple for me and just kind of showcasing, you know, the day-to-day, which is a little bit too similar to the one that I created. I'm looking for a lot more of a robust reporting and a lot more just everything is encompassed in this tracker. So I did search on Etsy. I also heard of Coplenty, and they create premium budget spreadsheets. I heard of it from a creator called Smiley Citrus, and I just liked how it worked. I liked how it looked. So this is the one I went for. Let me show you. I did go for the yearly budget 2.0, but they do have a bit more basic ones, and they have 1.0, 3.0. They even have travel planner, meal planner, goal habit tracker planners. So it's pretty robust what they offer. I think this travel planner is really great because when I was doing my trip to Jamaica, my spreadsheet looked insane and I was doing monthly payments to pay it down. So if I am gonna plan a vacation, I'm probably gonna get this one. But for now, I'm just getting the yearly budget 2.0 because my goal is to set up a financial tracker for the year. Your girl purchased that. It is on sale for half off. If you want to purchase this spreadsheet or any of the spreadsheets on Coplenty, I included my link in the description. If you click that and purchase through that link, then you will give me some commission, which is beautiful, and I will love you forever for it. Whatever you want to do what's comfortable for you and what's within your means. This works for me this year, and I'm excited to really up my financial tracking. So this was the easiest purchase I made so far this year. Once I purchased it, I received it in my email. Let's get into making it. I have a dollar spreadsheet. Let's use the template. Let's use it. Also, they have a YouTube video which kind of goes over how to use the spreadsheet as well. That I really appreciate because, again, my 2024 tracker was not as fancy as this, so I want to make sure I'm using this right and not messing up any formulas. I'm gonna name this 2025 financial tracker. She's boring, sorry. But that's what's gonna be good for me for now. If I take a look at it, when we wanna build a budget, you start in the annual totals tab. So let's go there first. All right, moving into the annual totals. Essentially you wanna start by documenting your income. I'm gonna actually just pull up my old tracker. You can basically break it out as much as you want. I'm gonna go break out all of my paychecks and then also track any additional income. One paycheck. What other income do I have? Collaborations. What do I want to call my YouTube? Because we're gonna be getting brand deals. We need to plan for that. It's 2025. I got big goals. That's it. Brand deals. Okay, cool. YouTube brand deals. Another place is my Wealthsimple interest. So I have like a high interest checking account, which is awesome because it's a MasterCard, but basically it's the money I put in. So it's not, I guess it's a prepaid MasterCard, that's what it is. But at the same time, it also earns interest for the money that sits in there. So I make a decent amount back. It's usually around $23. It's a decent amount of cash back that I actually will track it as income because it's an extra 30 bucks out of nowhere, you know? Where else? I always do gifted money because your girl gets gifted money. I have one that's for getting paid back. I've said this last year too. I have my Amazon, which is like my central hub, and people like to order stuff through me. One person being my dad. So he usually sends me a link and then I order the thing and then he pays me back for it once he gets it and tests it out and make sure he doesn't want to return it. Lucky man. So I always like to track that too because it's not necessarily my expense. I'm just doing the favor of, you know, ordering it for him and he does pay me back. Separate from my like YouTube, like I'm not technically a business for YouTube right now. I haven't monetized the channel yet, but I am incorporated like as a separate business for my project management. So that would be money that I track there. I also want to track tax return in case your girl gets any. Oh, one more thing would be Fetch, which is my other business. Social media management, do it with my sister. There isn't really income right now, but you know, that might pick up as well. I think that's it for income. Scrolling down to bills. First thing I like to start off with is my condo fee because that comes out every month. And yeah, I do like to do emojis. It's just more fun. That's all. Another bill would be my bank fee. I've also got my meter G, which is like my hydro, my parking spot, which I rent. Next, we're moving on to subscriptions. I actually really like this. I didn't separate out my subscriptions last year, so I'm excited to see what that looks like. My subscriptions, I know for sure I've got Spotify. I know I have Wattpad. I got put on because my ex did some work for them and that's how I discovered Wattpad. What in the Wattpad is going on? The raunchy smut that is on that app is insane, but I love it. I love it for you guys. I haven't actually read any. I just get so astonished by the titles alone. That's like loving my stepbrother. It's like book porn, literally. I guess depending on the genre you go down, but wow. I haven't canceled the subscription though, so maybe I will be reading it. I have no clue. I just kind of like to see what's on there and what everybody's into. What other, oh yes, I've got my Amazon Prime. I have my TV box, ChatGPT. I don't have Netflix. I don't have Disney Plus. So that's it for subscriptions. Okay, sorry, I had to change my mic situation because the other one got funky and then my camera died, and yeah, I like to sort things alphabetically. Let's move on to the juicy part, the expenses. So if I'm looking at my expenses here, off rip, we're gonna do some updating. Now for dining out, I think I wanna actually break this out a little bit more. I don't eat out, but I order a lot of Uber Eats. So I think I wanna separate my Uber Eats from my like groceries. I was combining them together last year. So it looked like my groceries and food was like a lot of money per month, but I actually wanna start getting better metrics on how much my Uber Eats spending is per month because I need to rein it in. Okay, Uber Eats is like, okay, I just order something, I ship it to my house, and I sit here on the couch and I just rot and waste away. I'm not actually wasting away, I'm watching some good movies, but it's just a waste of money. I'm not paying $20 extra for all that subscription fee when I could, you know, spend the money anyways and have a good time. So I think I wanna try to retrain my brain to every time I wanna eat Uber Eats, maybe I message a friend and be like, hey, do you wanna grab food? Because then at least you get a social interaction out of it. At least I get to catch up with a friend. And if you're my friend, you know I suck at responding to my texts and all that stuff. So this is like much needed like catch up stuff that I could do with my friends instead. So dining out is one, but I would also just do Uber Eats / DoorDash. Oops, can I spell? And it's not Uber Eats. Don't know why that made me laugh. Joe Pesci. And she's the love of my life. I do want a budget for personal care. I don't know, think period pads, tampons, toothpaste, face washes. I like entertainment, kind of goes with dining out. So Maybe I will put those two together. Yeah, because if I go to the movies, I'm eating out at the movies. Yeah, I want them to be together. Slash entertainment. Next, I'm gonna do transportation. Get me a little beep beep in there. I have a personal care budget, but I also have a treat yourself budget. I'm gonna change that to hobbies because that's what it ended up being. When I reflect back on 2024, the treat yourself ended up being money that went towards my hobbies, like running. Your girl ran a half marathon. I'm just gonna sign up for another one this year. So hobbies, can you believe it? You just got your own category this year. I can't wait to see what that looks like. Fitness, your girl has a personal trainer and I love her. Personal training is so good because I didn't realize how much of a princess I was. Not only is it hard for me to go to the gym because your girl wants to build a booty and the weight section is like covered in men and I don't like to be there by myself, but also like you have to like set up the weight. You have to lift the weight, you gotta add the weight, you gotta set it up and go. And having a personal trainer is literally just sitting down and waiting for them to be like, okay, do this. And she sets up my weights and she cleans everything and she just tells me what to do and I'm so much better for it. So love you, T. Next, another expense, a YouTube editor. So one thing I've learned, you know, your girl had to make more money. Usually that's a trade-off of time. And for me, it has been a trade-off of time. But right now I really just don't have the time to be editing my own videos. So I am getting a YouTube video editor, and shout out to my cousin Janelle because he is a video editor. So that was lined up pretty well. If you see them and you like them, let me know and I'll give them the feedback. If you hate them, let me know what you hated and I'll give them the feedback. Next, I have donations. So that was something that was important for me to get into last year and I want to be more consistent with it this year. I donate $35 a month to UNWRA UNRWA and they are providing relief for, you know, the genocide in Palestine. I want to be able to provide more support in other ways as well. There's a lot going on in the world, in Congo, Sudan, so I want to make sure I allot money to go towards that. And then also like my family does donation stuff and drives back home in Jamaica. So money contributing there too will be good. I want to make sure I'm putting some good out there and giving back and giving to people who need it. Now, household, I usually mixed it with miscellaneous and that was a mistake because household needs its own category in itself. I think I just want to make one for miscellaneous and I'm just going to put a shrug. Like, I don't know what happened. I am emptying these. I'm gonna go by like what I do the most of. So the order is okay there for me. Okay, moving on to savings. When it comes to savings, this is gonna be really important for me this year. If you watched my previous video, you know what I said. I am raw dogging it with the emergency fund savings. The girl is just out here. Anything can happen. Yeah, that's a bit scary for me. So I want to make sure this year I'm setting up my emergency funds and I'm so excited to get to saving that because it's just going to be such a relief for me to feel like, okay, if something should happen, I have a bucket of money that I could dip out of and not feel like I'm going to lose this home. In terms of other savings goals, I don't know that I have any that's bigger than emergency funds right now. I think one will probably just be travel and I'm just going to keep it very vague. You know, it's not any specific vacation that I'm budgeting or saving towards, but I do want to travel at least once a year. So that's going to be something that I put in my savings. And I mean, priority is going to have to be my emergency fund. But if I can save a little bit for travel on the side, I doubt I'm going to fill up my emergency fund before I go on a vacation. It is what it is. My friends want to go places. I got commitments that I got to keep up with. And that means I have to travel the world, unfortunately. So those are the savings that I want to focus on. There isn't anything else that I think is more priority than this. Moving on to debt, that would be it for the annual totals. I'll probably go back in here to add some emojis, but you guys don't want to sit around for that. So yeah, as you can see, everything's filled out. If I go into my January tab or any of the month tab, it's great because everything that you put in the annual totals tab is actually going to populate in your months tab. So everything looks super cute. I know that I have the income set up and all I have to do is set up, you know, the rest of the details. Now let's just do a quick setup of this and what it will look like. I'm not going to go into the full flesh income breakdown because I need to go through an actual payday breakdown. So that's going to be another video. So if you are not subscribed already, subscribe because that one's going to be fun. But in the meantime, we can just go over what each of this looks like. And also there are some other trackers here like the savings and debt tracker, the debt snowball calculator, net worth dashboard that you can fill out as well. Okay, now coming into one of the month pages, I'm here at January. It's really great because like I said, everything I populated in the annual totals tab here has come over into the other tabs and it will live there. So all I really have to do if I ever need to add a category is add them here. Love it, Love it, love it. Now moving on to what January is gonna look like. Starting with my income, they've got a payday column, which is great. As money comes in, I like to track the day that I get paid, or if I'm planning for the budget of the month that's coming up, I know what days I'm gonna get paid for certain things. When was my paycheck, bro? If you know you're gonna get some money back from your dad because you order his Amazon purchases, you know, slap that in there. If you know what you're gonna get, you can estimate, or you can put it down exactly. If you need to estimate, for example, if I've got a side hustle going, or maybe I've got Wealthsimple interest that's gonna come in, I expect to get about $23 because that's usually based on whatever's sitting in my account at that time. You can put the date, you can put what you're expecting to get. So what's my paychecks look like? My paychecks be looking like, say 2,100, let's say 1,500. Oops, that's 15,000. So this is income I'm expecting to get. As you can see up in this section, it's automatically updated. I'm expecting to get $8,000 this month. When the days actually come up, like for example, Jan 10th has passed, let's put that there. Once I start inputting, you'll see that this gets updated, this balance overview. The metrics here start to become populated, but it also updates your actual totals here as well. Great, love it. If we move on to the bills, if you know when your bills are due, for example, first of the month, that's due, first of the month, that's due. This is kind of bi-weekly, and this one is on the 15th. You know what you're gonna be spending. I know my parking spot rent is $190 a month. Are you crazy? I do a quick calculation here of my average. My average bill is around $121. So I'm just gonna round that up to $125 that I expect to spend. In my budget, my condo fees are gonna be like $530. I need to get the exact total. And my bank fee is $4 a month. I know that in terms of bills, I'm gonna be expecting $850 approximately to come out, and I can move stuff to a different account if that's what I need. But all of these bills come out of my checking account, so I just need to make sure that that money is there. Moving on to subscription, I mean, Amazon Prime is a yearly purchase for me. I think that's gonna come out in March too. So not due right now. ChatGPT is monthly. If I see, you know, when the monthly bills comes out, I'll put that. But basically, put it in, put what your budget is. My Spotify price has gone up. TV box, $15.30, $45. Wattpad, I don't know. I was like, bro, what is this $9.99 charge on my Apple? But I think that's what it was. I forgot I subscribed to Wattpad. Put in your memberships, put in your subscriptions, and set that up there. So I expect to pay around 81 bucks on subscriptions. That's a great price. I used to subscribe to a lot more, so I've really cut those things down. And yeah, you want to set the budget. I'm going to go into a different video where I actually break down the budget, because now I've got the metrics from my 2024 wrap, and I want to actually break out what I want to spend on groceries, dining out, all of these ones that I've broken out now into their own categories. But let's just say you started making some expenses. I'm gonna just be tracking them as I make them. Let's pretend that. And what's the expense? Maybe I did Uber Eats for like 30 bucks. Oh, and I love this. Where most of my money goes, I'm so happy to see this, because when this Uber Eats hoe ends up taking a big part of my pie, we're gonna have a problem. But yeah, anyways, expenses, maybe $50 on groceries was spent, another 20 bucks for my ChatGPT, 60 bucks on, you know, pads. Now you can see it starts to break out the chart. You start to get a good image and picture of where your money's going and what that looks like. I love that. It also will come up here. So once I actually set the budget, it's gonna tell me what the difference is. Right now I'm showing up red because I have a budget of $0. So it's saying I'm going over budget on everything. But if my groceries budget was $700 a month, then right now I've got $650 left, and I love that. The financial overview, it starts to populate. The budgets are going in and my actual expenses are coming in. Savings and debt has not really been added yet, so let's go there. So I have a bi-weekly mortgage. I need to actually add an extra section here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my annual totals. I am going to scroll down to debt. I'm going to move you down here, paste you here. I'm going to name this number 2. And because some months are actually 3 pay months, I'm going to do number 3. And what I'll actually say is payment. I don't have 3 mortgages. That would be crazy. So that's what that's gonna look like if I go back into my January tab now. But now I know, okay, I have a few mortgage payments coming out. It's bi-weekly. My mortgage payment is this, $1248.02. When it does come out, I'll track it there. My emergency funds, we're gonna figure out what the actual budget is. And it's great because it puts it into this chart where most of my money goes. Now I get the full picture. Yeah, my mortgage payment number 1, my mortgage payment number 2, travel, personal care, groceries. Okay, it really takes up and shows me. And I believe it sorts by the most expensive to least expensive. Amazing. So whatever's showing up at the top is where my money is going the most. I better not see no Uber Eats up there, but we'll see how it works for us. And it breaks down the percentages. So I'm gonna be able to look at it and say, okay, what can I change? I can't change my mortgage, but I can change my Uber Eats. 1%. This is going to help me make the conscious decisions on what I need to do to improve my budget and, you know, correct myself throughout the month or into the next month. And yeah, love that. She's gorgeous. What I want to get into is over here, the savings and debt tracker. So this is really cool because it's going to help me save towards my savings goals, which, as we know, one of them is my emergency funds. It also helps you towards your debt. So let's say you wanted to pay off your student loans faster. You could track that, set a goal, and track your payments to pay those things down. A lot of people like to pay down their mortgages to be debt-free. I don't give a damn about that. If I can pay it down faster one day, sure, maybe I will. But right now I do bi-weekly payments, which is a lot better in terms of paying down your mortgage. You pay it down faster than you would if you did a monthly payment. That's gonna have to be good for now. Based on my 2024 Wrapped, my average monthly expenses were $7,000. When you set up an emergency fund, you essentially wanna set up 3 to 6 months worth of your monthly expenses so that you can keep yourself afloat. Let's say everybody in the world gets fired, but bills still have to be paid. You wanna have about 3 to 6 months while you figure things out. I think 3 months is a great buffer. I want 6 months. 6 months would equal 7,000 times 6. That's $42,000. Okay, well, yeah, okay. If I did 3 months, then that would just be cut in half at $21,000. That seems to be a little bit more achievable, but both of those numbers to me are huge. So I think that that's going to be something I'm working on for the year. And I'm really going to need to do some rejigging to account for it because I really do want to set up 6 months worth of an emergency fund. If I'm taking this entrepreneurial journey, I want to do it in the safest way possible because I'm a homeowner and a mom. I'm a cat mom. I want to make sure that I can provide and take care of things while I am, you know, taking that leap. So I am going to put it to 6 and we're going to just figure it out. I don't even know what the monthly contribution would be. It would definitely not be 2,000, but essentially the way this works is it'll tell you when you will hit that date. So if I saved 2,000 a month, I would actually get my emergency fund completed by October of next year. That's crazy, but that's okay. If I started with an amount, so if you already have savings set up, let's say I have $10,000 set up in savings, that's gonna move me towards my goal a lot faster. So May of 2026, I should have 6 months worth of savings good to go. And that is what it is. So it'll take me about 16 months. Or if I make more money, then it will be faster and I can fill this up faster. Or if I bring down my expenses, then there's less to cover for. So that's just an average based on what I spent last year. That's not necessarily gonna be my expenses this year. I am planning to cut that down. So let's say it actually ends up being $5,000 a month expenses. That's only $30,000 that I need to save, which I can do in 10 months. So I could actually hit my goal by the end of this year. That's what I like to see. So maybe if I work with my expenses and bring those down, I can hit my goal a lot faster and feel comfortable to take more risks in my professional life. You guys know that my financial goal this year is going to be to build my emergency fund and also save some money for travel. What is yours going to be this year? What's your big financial goal that you're looking to get and save for? Maybe it's a car, maybe you're also going to be buying a home. Whatever it is, I want to know. Comment below. That was a lot to see and read, but I am really excited to get this really fully fleshed out. It's just such an improvement from my last year's tracker. So I'm so happy that I made this purchase. Any investment in yourself is really just, it's in my head, it doesn't count. It's like cash. You don't even see it. So this really is an investment in myself and my financial journey and just upping it. I hope you guys also feel inspired to take control of your financial journey and really set goals that you are a little bit scared of, but are excited to achieve. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, stick around. We're gonna have more finance videos, more productivity videos, and more entrepreneurship videos this year. And I can't wait to share everything with you. Love you, bye.